I often ask myself over and over again, what drives people to do something that they previously said that they would never do, or what they could not conceive of in their minds based on their current circumstances, they say that they would never do. I.e., I would never eat somebody. I would never eat a squirrel. I would never eat a horse, or um, I would never deal with a certain kind of woman, or I would never deal with a certain kind of man, or I would never do prostitution, or I would never rob a bank. I can go on and on again, about these things. Uh, it's basically something that somebody, you know, again said that they would never conceive or do, or they would never think that they would do, and then they find themselves in a situation where they are actually doing that which they have stated that they would not do. And I've come to the simple conclusion that desperation can, has, and always will play a role in the decision making of people. And, recently I've dedicated myself to understanding a little bit more about how the lines of credit, credit cards, uh, loans, HELOCs, all of that stuff. I've recently began to investigate, how it works because, when I purchased my property, I purchased it uh, just outright. I thought that it was just a wise thing to do. But in addition to that, I went ahead and did a strategic default when I was back in the world. So I thought that that was a good idea. And it turned out, long term, it was a good idea. But going back to why people do the things that they do is it's definitely desperation. And because when a person is backed up against a wall and they need something, they're going to do things that they never thought that they would do previously. And uh, this is what's given to the rise of scams, real estate investment scams, credit repair, all of these little scams, all of these little hustles that people participate in. Uh, and I'm not talking about the people who perpetuate it. Sure, is there good credit repair companies? Of course there are. Are there good mortgage or land companies that will teach you how to acquire land? Yeah, of course. There's good in any industry. However, how do you know the difference between a good credit repair company and a bad one? How do you know the difference between a good um, um, land investment scheme and a bad one? How do you know the difference between the two? Uh, and this is where it comes to a certain level of discernment. If somebody's offering you the ability to uh, get something for nothing, to solve a problem relatively quickly that you created, it's basically in the next 30 days I can give you XYZ 1 2 3, or I can, it's typically a scam. But people don't realize this because they're desperate, and they're desperate for a quick fix to typically, not all the times, typically the problems that they created themselves. So therefore, they want an immediate solution to the problem that they have. And the reason why they do that is because they're desperate. They're desperate for something that is going to alleviate uh, the pain that they are experiencing or that they are about to experience as a direct result of whatever choice or decision that they made. Um, it's a sad deal to see somebody in a desperate state. But I was looking at hyperinflation and the people that survived hyperinflation in other countries that now live here, and they see the signs of uh, the high inflation. I went in the Walmart, and I saw a jar of organic marinara sauce, spaghetti sauce for like $7, and I remember getting it for like 250. I seen a can of vegetables, string beans, and corn for 250 when it was going for like 69 cents. That's some serious inflation over the last couple of years. But that's what happens when you print trillions of dollars, and you give people a whole bunch of free shit and tell them to sit on their ass. And now, the gravy train is over. The reality is setting in. And this is what's going to cause a lot more people to go the desperate route, go the quick route. And this is why the launch and the rise of all these gurus are taking place. And and they said in the last days there's going to be many false teachers and many false prophets, and a guru is nothing but a teacher. He's trying to teach you something, but they're going to be false teachers. And this is what we got going on today. Everybody sees it as clear as day. I'm telling you, man, it's sad. And this is why you never want to be in a situation of desperation. This is why you want to do everything that you can in order to not be in a situation where you have to compromise your integrity, where you clearly have to do something that you say that you would not do prior, in order to survive, in order to get what you need, because you're desperate. I mean, I've seen it time and time and time again. I'm seeing it more and more again. People do desperate things because they're desperate. They're in need. They because of their lust, because of their desire, because of their lack, and they want the immediate fix. They don't want to sacrifice long term, put in the work, and deal with the short term pain. They want the quick fix, but the quick fix comes with a lot of bullshit. It comes with a lot of um, problems, because it may eliminate that temporary need that you may have. It always comes to bite you in the ass long term. Why? Because what you're signing up for is not a real solution. It's not a real um, sustainable path in order to get what you need. Uh, so, I say in conclusion, especially in this day and age, you see a whole lot of desperate folks. And it's a sad thing to see a man fall into desperation. The psychological mind games that they have to go through in order to justify themselves. Um, it really is an unfortunate thing. But when a desperate person, these desperate people cannot be trusted because they lack integrity. They lack character. They lack the ability to discern uh, what's the best route to go. So they're willing to compromise their integrity. So be careful. Don't put yourself in a situation of desperation, because let me tell you, those are going to be some of the most dangerous people that you can come across in the hour that we're living in. Trust me, it's going to come to pass. Be careful and beware, and don't become a desperate person.